Hey, what's up, 5 Stripe fam? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're going to talk about the Georgia Dome demolition and all its niceties that happened around it. We're going to talk about the roster moves that Atlanta United made, and we're going to get into that Tito Villalba rumor to Wolverhampton. Is it true? Is it false? We'll find out. What's going on, guys? We're going to get right into the topics. A lot has happened in the past week. We're going to talk about it. Starting off with the Georgia Dome demolition, which was crazy. There's some really funny things that happened, especially that Marta bus.
Yeah, Marta giving a whole new meaning to parking the bus.
Yeah.
Talk about really bad timing for that one guy.
Oh my god.
It's just like, here's a great video, and ruining it.
That camera operator, which I personally know, that is hilarious. It is the most, his name insert here, ism thing to happen ever. But let's watch it a little bit. I mean, if you missed it, I don't know how you did.
I mean, it's just like he's looking at it. I mean, it's a great video for him. Oh, it's about to come down. It's exploding. That's awesome. And then just this guy just shows up, and it's just like, I mean, I guess maybe he wanted a view as well, but at the same time, it's like, come on. As ESPN was like, come on, man.
It's rubbernecking to the
extreme.
Yeah, to the extreme.
Fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic, and there's been so many great memes that have just come out of it.
For sure.
Just and just being a soccer related thing, just parking the bus. It's just It's just fantastic.
It was fantastic. But yeah, a great thing to come out of the demolition of the Georgia Dome is that there's going to be the Home Depot backyard, which from the renderings look amazing. I mean, it's lots of grass.
I think it's brilliant. I love seeing the green. I love seeing this like natural area for everyone to go and tailgate, to share those pregame and postgame festivities. Mm-hmm. And I think it's amazing use of that space. I just wish it could be bigger, or if they could do it somewhere else, like maybe like turn the Gulch into not the Gulch and make it nice. I don't know. It's just
the Gulch. They're actually doing. They're creating a work, live, play place where it's going to be, and so it's that's a good thing. I think people can live next to the bins and have a nice view of it every single day.
Absolutely. I mean, you have probably the best stadium in the world, just to continue to develop the area around it, and just make it this supreme sports facility where everyone can just. I mean, and there's just so much to love about it. I mean, you got to thank Uncle Arthur with everything he's done. I mean, because it's so family friendly, and I think that's something that's just. It makes us as United fans or Falcons fans or anything just so at home, which I think just reflects in everything with how much we are passionate about our teams.
Right.
I think it's amazing, out with the old and in with an incredibly just new thing, and just the improvements they're making. Everything is first class, and it's awesome to just see how everything's moving forward.
Very true. Very true. And moving forward to our next topic, Miguel Almiron won 2017 Newcomer of the Year, which, he was paired up with Josef Martinez and Nikola Nemanjic of Chicago Fire. Was it a little bit of, angling from MLS to put two Atlanta United players, pit them against each other, maybe make the fans have to make a decision and split the votes?
I mean, if they wanted someone else to win, I don't think they anticipated how many of us are going to vote, because when it comes to voting, we vote.
Exactly.
I think it was fair. Honestly, I don't think Joseph will take anything negative out of it. I mean, Miggy played, I think, more than Joseph played. I mean, obviously he had the 6 week or 4 weeks where he was injured with the hamstring, but Joseph missed quite a bit of time with his injury as well. And I think that if he had played the whole season, you easily could have seen him be the player, because I think he would have won Golden Boot. Because, I mean, look how many goals he scored versus the games that he played. I mean, he was almost a goal-a-game guy at the end of things, which is incredible. So I don't think it's unfair, and if they were trying to split it, they felt miserably. I think it's fair. I'm glad to see Miggy win something, because I don't think he's good enough to win MVP, but, What do you think on that? Yeah,
I mean, I think he's definitely up there in the vote. The biased Atlanta United fan in me says yes, he should absolutely win. The unbiased says probably between Jovinko and Valeri should win, just from stats alone and
fantastic player.
So and the fact that Toronto had a lot more pieces. Portland Timbers, while a very good team, very Valeri centric as well. So I think with that, Almiron has a good chance because of our fan base and the fact that our fans actually vote. But I don't know. I mean,
because we actually have fans.
Yeah, possibly. Well, the Timbers have fans too, and the Toronto FC should have fans. I don't know. Well, that's a different topic.
They're trying to start rivalries.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Yeah, we talk some stuff, then maybe people will start to watch and hate on us for it. So why not? And moving on to the next topic, we're gonna talk about those roster moves year-end that Atlanta United made, and yeah, it's one of those so many flurry of moves. We talked about it in a different video from yesterday, right over here. You can watch it. And so I touched on a good bit of it, but there's still some things that there's some impact players that are missing from that list. One of them being a major one for me being Jeff Larentowicz. Jeff Larentowicz, being such an important player to the system, to the formation. It's really important, that he's able to play in midfield and in defense, especially in our three-man backline shape when we're in offense. And so he's able to solidify it, with his awareness, his defensive awareness, the heading. I mean, if he's not in the team next season, who's going to play that role? Who's going to shepherd that system for Tata? I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very valid point. He was a fantastic player for us this year. Probably one of the best seasons he's had in his MLS career. Yeah. I mean, he fit naturally into the system that United played. Like you touched on, dropping back into a pseudo three-man back line when we were in possession. The ability to slot in at center back when, Parkhurst or Gonzalez Perez is hurt. Right. He's a very flexible, very experienced, very intelligent player that I thought did a lot of good work for us this year. But he's getting older.
Right.
Apparently, he was only on a 1-year contract, which is why they're negotiating now.
Right.
So he obviously, after a season like that, is perfectly within his rights to demand more money. But with the very convoluted MLS salary cap rules, you have to really make that judgment on how good is he for us versus how much we have to pay him, and what can we do with our salary cap to accommodate him, because there's some other players we haven't touched on yet, like Asad and Garza, that would need more money this year if we want to bring them back. For me, I think that I'm a big believer in youth, and I think we already have quite a few youth players, 4 or 5 that are going to be in the first team team next year. They might not play a lot of minutes, but to give players like maybe a Goslin a shot in midfield, he might not be able to perform consistently yet, but you're only going to get better when you play. So, and I think if you have a good team around these players, then you can more easily put these youth players in there because they have veteran presence around them. I mean, if you pair him with a Carmona's going to look after him because of the type of player that he is and how high his work rate is.
Right.
So I think that United are definitely a team that can afford to play these youngsters in some of these spots where you let people go. And I think that can only build on our future, because if we can get them playtime as 16, 17, 18-year-olds, they're going to continue to get better, because that's not a model that a lot of MLS clubs are looking at right now.
Exactly.
And I think that's a big issue with MLS and U.S. soccer in general, is giving these youth players these chances. And I think that Atlanta United could be a very influential club in doing that, because not only are they a talented club that plays attractive football, if they start giving youngsters chances and they can continue to grow, that gives United that leg up on everyone else, because we don't have to go buy talent. We grow it here. They're homegrown. We make it here. Right. And then you can get the best young players that come here because they know that they're going to get that shot.
Right. And, Carlos Bocanegra was talking yesterday at the press conference. Yeah, he was talking about how, getting the USL team to Gwinnett, where it's really only, a 45-minute drive away versus a 5-hour drive away to Charleston Battery, getting these guys training with the first team on a consistent basis, that's really where these players are going to grow and know the system that Tata plays. And really, so if they don't play on a Saturday, then, if there's a Sunday game, then they can go and play right there. They don't have to worry about the travel time. They don't have to worry about, so much of, the logistics of, having a faraway USL team. It's beautiful. I think it's one of those that, why wouldn't this be a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not sure about the rules on it yet. I don't know if players can, like a U23 league in England maybe, where you can play for one team and also play for the other.
Yeah.
Because if so, that'd be a very fascinating thing to do, because then you can, say that Carlton didn't get some minutes and you want him to get some minutes, he can drop down to the other team and get some minutes and play. I think it's brilliant that we're going to have this team that's part of the same organization, because as much all credit to Charleston Battery, it was a great partnership.
Absolutely.
They're their own club with their own ambitions, their own style of play. With the USL team, they're going to play the exact same system United are going to play.
Right.
They're part of the club. They have the same vision that United have, where the vision is you go, you play, you get experience, you go to the first team. That's the vision. You learn how to play the system so that when you go up to the first team, you know where you have to be.
Right.
I think my only issue with it really is going to be the pitch size, because it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of sticks me, because
110 by 70. Yeah, it's a little small.
It's a little small, and I think that I guess learning to plot a small pitch and then going to a big pitch is good, because then you have that extra space.
Sure.
So I'd rather them learn on the same dimension so they know exactly where they need to be.
Right.
But I mean, if that's the only problem that I have, then I mean, it's like that's on the lower list. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to seeing and learning about how everything's going to work.
Right.
But I'm very excited about it moving forward.
Yeah.
And with the points Carlos makes, it gets me really excited as a fan, because you just see the commitment to winning.
Exactly. Yeah, and him, pointing out that fact, he's just saying, like, we are pretty much looking for a championship as soon as possible. Like, that's amazing to hear from the front office. Like, that's what you want as a fan. Like, there's no milling about. Like, they're doing all the right moves to get us to that direction. And on the topic of Carlos Bocanegra, he was talking about the inaugural season, and this is what he said, quote, "We're very pleased with what we were able to accomplish on and off the field. We fell up a little bit short. We wanted to make a deeper playoff run, but we don't want to tarnish what a great season it was for us. Overall, we're pleased with it, but it left everyone wanting more and to bring a championship back here. However, that shouldn't discredit what happened here." I think that's like, the epitome of, how the front office just operates. In the exit interviews, all the players were talking about how, they were all on the same page. Essentially, they were very upset going out on penalties. It's a terrible way to go out. But, they're looking forward to next season as soon as possible. I think they're not having fun really just sitting in the off season watching other teams play in the MLS playoffs. It's just I think it's something that is good to see from everybody related to the team.
Yeah, I think they have a bad taste in their mouths, and I think they have some unfinished business, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I'd be very salty as a player to go out on penalties. It's a very harsh way to lose a game.
Definitely.
Especially when so many chances, so many things happened in that match to just imagine that it finished the way that it did. I definitely think that it speaks to their mentality, and the mentality that Tata and the front office have drilled into them and looked for when signing players. They want these competitive guys.
Right.
And, originally the plan was, as Carlos to be competitive. Well, we took that to the next level, and we were competitive, and we were fighting for something. And I think that they know that they should be playing tonight. They should be playing soon. And I like to see that that's what they're thinking, because for a lot of players, especially in MLS, it's like, paycheck, I'm playing here.
Right.
But for them, they're want to win.
Yeah.
They're hungry. They want to win. And you've heard that from people like Joseph, and when he says there's a lot of things that I want to achieve here at this club, and I think that's true, and I believe them when they say that they want to win. And I think that if you follow them on social media, they're itching to get back. They're training hard, so they're about to go on holiday. But I imagine they're jumping to get back in here, get ready for preseason, and get going to go at it again.
Right.
And that's the mindset that championship clubs have. It's every season we go again. We're going for it again this year.
Right.
Even when you win, we go again. We want, if they win, say next year they might not win the MLS Cup, but they might win the U.S. Open Cup.
Right.
If you win the Cup one year, it's like, well, next year it's got to be the Cup and the Supporters Shield. Next year the Cup and the MLS Cup.
Exactly. It's only going to escalate from there. Exactly.
I think that this, I don't want to sound super optimistic, but I think this is a club that wants to be that first team that, I don't know if you can call it a trouble per se. I think they want to win the U.S. Open Cup. I think they want to win the Supporters Shield. I think they want to win every trophy they can in the same year. I think they want to win everything that's in front of them all the time.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think that's epitomized by the front office and how they've spoken at the end of the season and how the players have come out. They want to win everything. And I love that. As a fan, that's what you want to hear.
Exactly.
But it's not just hearing it, you got to see it, and they back up what they say. They show with the USL team, with taking care of business early usually. I mean, they with a statement of intent of having a top of the line manager, having these good young players, having this attractive, entertaining style of play that not only do we get to watch brilliant football, we watch winning football. I mean, and that's something that you have to love. And I'm just jumping for March, man.
Right, absolutely, and to speak on that, it's like the fans that were there from day one, and then the fans that built from that. Like, some people like to argue that it's like maybe there's like bandwagon fans, and that's why it's so popular and blah blah blah. But I feel like no, it's not that case at all. Where these fervent fans, their infectiousness, their love for the game and Atlanta United, that's really what's grown and has brought in more people. And then that's why the players love playing here. Like, it all feeds within itself.
And the players love playing with each other. I mean, you can see that on social media. They've bonded, and that's something for a fan you love to see, that these guys have become close friends. They might not have known each other before this past year, and now they're close friends. They've knit well together, and they want to win together.
Exactly.
And that's just you can't speak, to anything more than that, because I would wholeheartedly disagree of the idea of how can you be a bandwagon fan when a team just started.
Exactly.
And it's like, how can you be upset when we're here and we get to watch, in my opinion, the best football in MLS?
Yeah.
I mean, we know every week we go out there, there's a chance we can put 3-4 goals past anyone.
Exactly.
We know we've seen some of the most entertaining draws I've ever seen. 3-3 with Orlando. Yeah. Even the playoff game, a 0-0 draw over 120 minutes that was incredibly entertaining.
Yeah. To
lose 3-2 to Minnesota. We lost. It was an incredibly entertaining match. And so, even when it's a bad result, it's entertaining. And, you can sometimes you have teams that win and it's just boring and you're like, I hate it. But I mean, everything about this club I love, and it's moving in the right direction. I mean, I just can't speak to how proud and excited I am of how the front office handles things, their engagement with the fans, the players' engagement with the fans, and how all these players in their exit interviews, if you go and read their quotes, they're committed, which is incredible to a team that just started.
Exactly.
And it just, they're building a foundation to just take this club to highs that I think MLS haven't seen before.
Absolutely. And, moving to our next thing, speaking of possible exits, there's a rumor out there from MLS Transfers on their Twitter that pretty much, with an unknown source, that said Tito Villalba is drawing interest from Wolverhampton Wanderers of the championship, and that team is leading the championship right now. So if if things ended as they are right now, they would be promoted into the Premier League. And so if they brought on a Tito Villalba, then he would be a Premier League player. Whether he wants to go there or a whole other thing, that's a separate thing. I think the rumor of this happening, I think we have to take with a really, really large grain of salt.
Oh, I think it's absolute rubbish. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those silly season transfer rumors where someone's like, who's a good player? That fella.
Right. It's almost like dartboard.
Yeah,
action.
I think that if a club like that was interested in him, if I'm him, you have to listen, because especially if you can be playing in the Premier League next year, that's got to be a dream for these players to play in the most prestigious league in the whole world. But at the same time, it's like, if they're flying right now, are they looking for a starter, or are they looking for someone to back someone up?
Right.
I mean, are they looking for squad depth? And it's no shot at Tito. He's had one season in MLS where he's done very, very well. That could be obviously the style of the club. We want these players to go to Europe.
Sure.
But as it is with Miggy, is it too soon?
Right.
You have to have that right fit, because we want to see these players succeed. And a lot of the times, especially over in Europe, you see players move too soon or to the wrong club, in the wrong situation, and it can stall out their career.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they're just sitting on the bench or something, and they're not getting playing time, which was kind of the deal when before Tito came here. He hadn't actually played a whole lot the year before, and so for him to actually get playing time, to be a star on the team, to also immerse himself in Atlanta culture. There's a lot of Hispanic culture that's very attractive here. I think it's much more attractive than
The
England.
Midlands, England, where
Yeah.
it's really cold a
Yeah.
lot of the time, and it's dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon half the
Exactly.
year.
And
I mean,
I'm sure food difference and just maybe music and just people to hang out with. It's gonna be a huge difference. So I don't really put a lot of stock in this.
yeah, I call absolute balls on it. I think it's just rubbish, and I think that he's a player that absolutely can move in the future.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that when you have a rocket of a leg like that, fellas,
Absolutely.
I mean, he'll find a place somewhere in the top league. I'd love to see him stay here for a long time, but also
Yeah.
I'd love to see him flying his trade for some solid teams in Europe, just like Josef, just like Niggy, just like these young players are bringing through. That's the goal. That's the stated goal, is to get
Exactly.
these guys there. And they'd have fans in Atlanta for sure. But this
Absolutely.
one,
Yeah.
thumbs down.
Definitely. A thumbs up for Bobby Boswell's
Oh my
tweet.
goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he took being pretty much they didn't pick up his contract expired with Atlanta United, and he took that in a really, really great way. I mean, his tweet, which you'll see up here.
I don't think I've ever seen a player take being released in a better way than this fella.
Exactly.
I want to keep him almost for his entertainment value alone.
Exactly. Now, he has a future, definitely as a pundit. Just in and around the sport, speaking or something, because he's got some talent on Twitter.
He's incredibly clever. Absolutely, I love it.
Blanco Messi. Oh my God, that's he's a legend.
I wish it could have been a fly in the room to actually see A, if that actually happened, and B, what Tata's reaction was to
For sure.
that, because it's just
and it for sure didn't happen, but it is, yeah. But it's one of those for him to just say that speaks to how good of a guy he is. Just a good veteran that we would be lucky to have him around the team in the future. Obviously, he's got a storied kind of past with DC and Houston and stuff like that. So I mean, it would be a get to be able to keep him on, but we'll have to see on that. And continue with social media, Yamil Asad with an Instagram story, very cryptic. He wrote, last days, which we later found out. Doug Robertson of AJC, he mentioned that the players are just going on holiday this week, so that's probably why. But then today, he put out on an Instagram post and tweet that he's thanking all the fans and the team and everybody involved. It just seems like a very concluding tone. When I mean, yes, his loan, it's up in the air. We, there's hashtag sign Assad. Yes, we want him to continue on with the team. It seems like he wants to stay, but for him to put that out there very cryptically, it just seems like, he knows maybe there's a chance he's not going to stay.
Yeah, it was sad. I mean, it sounded like a goodbye, and I think that I think I can speak for almost everyone in saying we want him to stay. I mean, 7 goals, 13 assists, incredible. I mean, that's fantastic numbers for a player like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he definitely. I think if you see his other posts, I think he wants to stay. I mean, the feel I think a lot of people have gotten from him is that he wants to stay. He wants to be here, and I'd love him to be. But at the same time, you have to look at he's going to cost more money if we sign him permanently.
Yep.
The club has to run all these figures to keep under the salary cap, and it's just like, can you have a young player step into that gap and fill that void? Yep. And if that's the case, then that's what you have to do. Again, I would love him to stay. I really would. But, if it is goodbye, then I can't say anything but thank you, Yamil. You've been fantastic. We'll always remember you for scoring the first goal.
Right.
And, you're going to be Atlanta United, in our story, in our history.
Right.
And,
he's going to be a 5-stripe for life.
Absolutely.
But, definitely sign Assad.
Please.
But, and I think that'll do it for us for this episode. We really, really appreciate you watching. Comment in the spot below. Let us know what your thoughts are on all of this. And for Tanner McLeod, I'm AJ. Thank you so much for watching.
Please like, subscribe.
Yes, all the good stuff. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.